Okay, so we can see a kind of civil war brewing in the right-wing community. First of all, a lot of people are not happy about Trump's second term with all the wars and everything. On the British side, we can see a split between Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe, and on for example, and if you remember when Elon Musk was working with Trump, we saw, for example, he all of a sudden departed from America first by advocating working visas, as an example. So, is there kind of a civil war brewing in the right wing community, and if so, what is all this coming from? And I would like to say that maybe this is a part of a bigger picture where we can now see a kind of rift between the billionaires, the tech bros, and the global capitalists, and on one side, and the true nationalists on the other hand, that care about their culture, etc., etc. So the question is really nationalism and capitalism compatible? And that is something I would like to talk about in this episode. Okay, so on one side we have nationalism, which is the idea that you want to build a community out of people who are loyal to each other and share certain values that work together for a better future together and such. And on the other hand, we have capitalism, which is the idea that you have each person is seen as a economic man that try to maximize profit and try to become wealthy, and you build a business not out of sentimentalism and feelings. You build a business just to increase the profit to the maximum. And are these ideas actually compatible? And I would say no, actually, it's not compatible, of course, because if at the end of the road, you have to choose. You have to choose if for example, if you're a capitalist and you have a factory, then you have to make decision that determines the future of a country, maybe even, and or at least yeah. So for example, if you want to maximize profit, maybe it's more profitable to offshore your factory to another country, or maybe it's more profitable to hire cheap immigrant workers that cost you less and make more profit in the short run. But I would kind of argue that actually it's this. In many ways, it's the capitalist short-sightedness and drive for profit that in many ways has caused globalism and has caused the deterioration of the nation states worldwide. Because if you think of it, a lot of the problems we have in the West stem from capitalists that want to make a profit. And it's a very complicated discussion, of course. There's many aspects to every part of this discussion, but I think it's a very important discussion that we need to have regarding this, because in the right wing movement right now, we have both these globalist capitalists and we have these nationalists, and in a way I think they don't share the same goal, and I also am a little bit. I mean, especially after Trump completely broke all of his promises in the last term and kind of betrayed the nationalistic movement. Going forward, I think we need to be increasingly suspicious of all these billionaires, tech bros, and all of them, because are they really nationalist, or are they just grifters that want to use nationalism as a way to push their agenda? And what is their agenda? If you're a global capitalism, of course you're not gonna in the end care about nationalism and care about preserving culture, essentially. So I think there is a war, there is a civil war here brewing in the right wing community, and I think it's a very important war. And I think now, like for example, it seems like the right wing is also losing some steam in many countries. Maybe the left will come back, like maybe in UK, maybe in USA, and I think during that time, maybe it's good to sort these things out properly. And I'm firmly, of course, on the nationalistic side. I think if you have to choose between making more money and benefiting your people, your nation, your country, then of course you have to benefit your nation and your country, and that's what loyalty is about. That is what being a nationalist is about. And because capitalists are essentially they actually, capitalism, as I see it, is a kind of religion. They worship the individual, and they worship the idea of, many of them have this idea that greed is good. So if you just make a lot of money, that is proof enough that you acted in a morally correct way. So because the money itself is proof that you earn. But I think it's a horrendously wrong idea, essentially. I think civilization should be built on values, culture, loyalty, and such things, and a will to give, even like the kindness of Jesus Christ, essentially. And if you just want to be selfish, individualistic, and make tons of money, then I don't think you belong in the nationalistic crowd, essentially. And I think we need to kind of sort this out. And I think, because I don't really get, this video has been a little bit hard for me to make, because I think what I don't get is, why do people always assume that nationalists, I think it has to do with this stupid idea of just categorizing things into left and right. So we have right wing, because we say nationalism is a right wing thing. Like if you care about nationality and preserving culture, etc., then you're right wing. Or if you're conservative, then you're right wing. So we lump it together, and because right wing historically was about capitalism, like Reaganism and Thatcherism. So people just assume that if you're nationalist and right wing, then you're also a capitalist. And while you might, okay, we might believe in the free market, etc., but that's very far removed from being like the Ayn Rand believers, like the people who really see capitalism as a religion, because religious capitalism is quite something different than just a free market. The people who are religiously capitalist, I would say, can never be a nationalist, because if you believe in greed is good, and you believe in the individual as the most important thing, and if you believe that profit is more important than people, you're not a nationalist. You cannot never be a nationalist. So I would highly doubt that someone like Donald Trump, for example, can he be a nationalist? I highly doubt it, actually. Or Elon Musk. Yeah, of course he to some degree he cares about the Western culture. He complains about the situation in South Africa to some degree. But on the other hand, he and sometimes he talks about basic income, which might indicate that he cares about the working people in the USA. But then again, I never heard him talk about wealth taxation, for example. So I kind of highly doubt that he really cares about the nation as a whole. Maybe this guy, they just care about the elite. Maybe that they imagine that the elite can make it without the people. So yeah, I'm ranting here, but this is something I will probably get back to more times. But I think it's a very interesting topic regarding capitalism and nationalism, and I think we will have to sort this out to make the right wing nationalist movement strong again. And I think another thing I maybe like when you talk about, like, you can see this like if we talk about wealth taxation, the reason why people always say wealth taxation fails is because, yeah, then people just move. We live in a global world and people just move. But like someone said, like if you own a lot of wealth in China, for example, are you allowed to take that wealth and just move abroad? Maybe not. Maybe your assets is bound to in the national currency, and maybe you're not allowed to transfer too much money abroad. Maybe, and I'm saying that if we have national borders that are borders for people, you say people cannot come and go as they please. Why should we allow capital to come and go as it please? Should capital supersede the interest of a nation? Should capital move where people cannot move? So I think the nationalist movement need to really rethink all of this. We don't want to be communist, of course. We don't want to be socialists. If we are right wing, of course, we to some degree like capitalism. We like the free market, but maybe there needs to be some kind of limit to it. Maybe Bill Gates shouldn't be more powerful than the president. Like that's another example. Like if you're a nationalist and you think nations are the most important power, it should be a institution for power in this world. How can you see that certain individuals like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk suddenly become so wealthy that they are more powerful than nations? Is that a nationalistic ideal to have it like that? I think not. I think if you want to have a nation, the moment some individual rises above the nation and think they can control a nation, then maybe the nation should set a stop to it. Like, no, you can't be this powerful. And I think wealth taxation is not just about equality. It's not just about like the socialist and the communist. We want to all have a share. It's about security. Like if you as a nation allow people to rise to such wealth that they can challenge the power of a nation, they can determine the destiny of a nation, I would say then you have a problem. You have like you move into a realm where you have feudalism instead of and maybe while some nations could benefit from being ruled by a feudal lord, the problem with the capitalists is they don't have any loyalty to nations. They just move their capital around and such. So in that sense, I think even a king, like a proper king, would be better than having the tech bros and the billionaires, etc. Because the thing with a king was that they had a loyalty to their people. They were like, they sign an oath, make a pledge under God to serve their people. But like billionaires, they don't care. They just move. If they can make more profit, like they can earn a few cents more per product, they just move their factory to some other country and essentially betray their nation. And that should still be that should still be nationalistic? No, I don't think so. I think this is a important discussion to be had, and I think there's a civil war coming within the right-wing movement, and I think we should need to expel all these potential traitors, these rich oligarchs, and these billionaires that pretend they care for nations, but they actually don't. They only care about themselves. They care about their capital, and we should kick them out essentially. That's my opinion. I think also a nationalistic movement should be able to cooperate with the likes of Gary Stevenson, for example, that advocate wealth taxation. I think wealth taxation is needed at this point. The inequality has gone astray and has gone too far, and to restore nations, we need to have some kind of capital regulation, wealth taxation, bring it back to a level where actually hardworking people can earn a living, and we can get birth rates back to normal also. And to do that, we need to regulate capital. The nations should be above the capital. So that's my kind of rambling thoughts about this. I will probably, when I have a more clear idea about this, maybe I will make a more focused video and describe it more clearly. But this is the best I have so far. Thanks for listening. And if you have any comments about this, put them down in the comments below, and I would gladly respond to them. Bye bye.